Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today we are going to have a conversation about how Fortnite is doing right now. I feel like I haven't done this in a long time, even done anything with Fortnite. So I think it's good to have this conversation and feel out where Fortnite is. They are in a little bit of a weird spot. I don't think they're at a down point right now, but I don't think they're in a prime by any means also. So we're going to talk about where Fortnite is right now, because this is my first Fortnite video in almost half a year. I think it's been 4 or 5 months since the last Fortnite video. And since then, I have not played a ton. You could probably see my level right on the bottom right corner, level 17. And I got 10 levels by playing 30 minutes of minigame box fights, a creative map, not actually playing the game. I've played Chapter 6 Season 3 for a few games. I played Chapter 6 Season 2 for one game, which is very unusual of me. This video is not fully about me, it's about Fortnite. But I would say that I have not been playing a ton of Fortnite because I have not had the most amount of time. It's just, I kind of have been wanting to play other games when I do have the time, because I burned myself out with Fortnite. It wasn't really Fortnite's fault. I feel like Chapter 6, when I look at videos of the game, when I look at how people view the game, it looks like it's one of the better chapters. For sure better than Chapter 5. I feel like the map this chapter has been very strong. I feel like the weapons have been better than Chapter 5's because what's it called? It's like, there's two different bullet variants. There's like hit scan and bullet drop. They added hit scan back for Chapter 6, and I feel like that's made the weaponry a lot better. So the game itself has been good for Chapter 6. I just have not played really at all, mostly because of a time issue. Even Chapter 6 Season 1, I played like for a few days and didn't play again. So I feel like the game itself is pretty decent, but I kind of want to talk about Fortnite's direction and where I feel like they should go instead. So it's pretty obvious that Fortnite is not 100% on Battle Royale. They have been promoting the multiverse, and whether it be UEFN Creative 2.0, whether it be Rocket Racing, Fortnite Festival, Lego, they've added other things since then, like Ballistic. That was mostly Chapter 5 editions, but I feel like that's still Fortnite's main goal, is that like hub of having everything instead of being a Battle Royale game, which is fine, but I would still like Fortnite to, work on its basics, work on what got them there, and that is Battle Royale. Now, what changes should Battle Royale make? I'm not entirely sure. I've seen some good ideas. The one video Cypher PK uploaded a few months back, mentioning how the AI has kind of ruined the game, just because half the time, usually more, you're not fighting a real player. That makes sense. I think AI is needed to fill out Fortnite games, because without the bots, there would probably be like 60 people per game. But if you're Epic Games, if you feel like you're not going to be able to fill out 100 player games anymore, I wouldn't mind them cutting it down to like 80 or, 75, a number like that. That sounds kind of like a crazy idea. Like, why lower the amount of people per game? I feel like if you do that, make it 75, you can put more details and, little things into the map. Because when there's 100 players, you don't really get to fully go all out on every POI. You need to have those POIs that are just there for people to get loot, or just there for a landing spot. But I feel like with 75 people, you can make a smaller and more refined map. That sounds like kind of a crazy idea, but I think if Epic wanted to help solve the bot problem, they could do that. And there were a few other great points in his video. I recommend you go check it out. It's on his YouTube channel. But I feel like besides the bots, Battle Royale itself is pretty decent. I wish the storyline made a little bit more sense, but it doesn't fully affect me. If they don't figure out the storyline, I don't think it matters too much. I know there's people that really love it. I don't fully get invested into it, but for the live events, it's good to like know what is going on from one season to the next. And since Chapter 5, they've been doing these mini events, which have been kind of varying in quality. Some have been pretty good, others have been meh, but I have not been on for really any of them, and it's because I didn't know they were happening. Like, I feel Epic was not promoting their mini events, which I guess makes sense. They're not full-blown live events, but they're still, things that the average player in the community would want to go check out. And Epic not really promoting them. They give like a time a few days before, throw it in like the bottom corner or top corner of the loading screen, and that's kind of it. And so I feel like besides bots, live events, I'm kind of going off the top of my head right now, just thinking about things Epic should, work on. I feel like the bots are the top priority, and finding a true, destination point. Like, what does Epic want to be known as with Fortnite? Do they want to be known as a Battle Royale? Do they want to be known as a multiverse? Or do they want to be known as something else and we just don't fully know it yet? I'm not too sure, but I feel like once Epic Games finds that clear path, that clear direction, they will be in the right spot. And I feel like that's not unreasonable to say at all, that the thing Epic is missing the most is a clear direction. Because there's people on the team that work for Battle Royale. There's people on the team that work for each of the separate game modes, Fortnite Festival, Lego, Rocket Racing. Like, Epic doesn't have their entire staff come together and do each individual thing. They don't all switch off from time to time. They might collaborate once in a while. But overall, Epic has people hired to do, Rocket Racing. There's specific people for that. Specific people for Battle Royale. Specific people for UEFN. Obviously, the creators are what make most of the maps, but there's people that maintain UEFN. And I feel like all of those collectives need to come together and come up with a true plan for the future. I know they don't have the full say. It's the higher-ups, and that's what most businesses are. The higher-ups have the creative control and decisions. But I wouldn't mind seeing people from Battle Royale, from creative, from the multiverse, all coming together, discussing with the higher-ups at Epic, what is the plan? And I feel like once Epic figures that out for Fortnite, we're in a very good spot. The game is not bad right now. It's actually pretty good. I was having a lot of fun playing the past few days, just kind of doing my own thing. And so the game is in a pretty decent spot. Like every other game, there's things to fix. But Fortnite is the biggest game in the world. I think besides Minecraft. And maybe GTA 6. GTA 6 will be the biggest game in the world when it releases. I should say if. But Fortnite is in a great spot. And one more thing that I thought about while talking is the collabs. I know collabs are not a sensitive topic, but they're not fully loved by the entire community. We're obviously towards the end of a Star Wars season right now. And I feel like the collab part of the game, it doesn't matter if they do a collab, it's how they do the collab. And I think that's a pretty, understandable, reasonable take. Most people would probably agree with that, unless someone just really loves or really hates an IP and would either love or hate to see it in the game. But if it's, I don't know, Marvel, for example, I don't think a ton of people hate Marvel. A lot of people love Marvel, but there's not a lot of people that hate Marvel. And so it's mainly about how they implement Marvel into the game or how they implemented DC. And that's why people love collabs like the Dragon Ball collab, because they executed it so well. With the Kamehameha, or I don't know, I think it's My Hero Academia with the Deku Smash. That's probably completely off. It might be right. But then at the same time, people were not the biggest fans of the Naruto collab because the mythic weapon that came with it was kind of weak. So if you know what I'm trying to say, it's not necessarily what Epic brings to the game for collabs, it's how they bring it into the game. And I feel like that should be the focus when Epic does collabs in the big 2025. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, for enjoying the vid. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. If you want to use my code in the item shop, I'm trying to bring it back. It's code TrixieOC. And that's it. See you guys on the next one.